Hey everyone, it's LaDon. Hope you're doing well. I wanted to make a really quick video to kind of talk about the differences between shedding and hair shedding and hair breakage, because a lot of times we use those terms interchangeably like they're the same thing, but they are really completely different things. One you should be really, really concerned about, and the other less concerned about. And the reason I thought I would make this video is because when I transitioned to natural, I went I was really concerned because I thought I was losing so much hair, and really I wasn't. So I just don't want anybody else to go through that, and I thought I would share this because maybe it'll be helpful to someone. I'm not a hair care professional. I'm not a guru. None of that. I just want to save someone from freaking out like I did. Okay. So I guess the first thing to recognize is that, again, hair shedding and hair breakage are two completely different things. So we shouldn't be using those two terms interchangeably, as if they're the same, because, again, they're not. Hair shedding is a completely natural process. It's part of our natural hair growth cycle, whereas hair breakage is unnatural. It's because some sort of damage has been done to the hair. Okay, so hair shedding natural, hair breakage unnatural. All right. So on average, our hair or our scalp will shed 50 strands per day. Now, when we were natural or when we were relaxed, we typically used a comb or a brush or did, heavier manipulation to our hair on a daily basis. So we, at that time, grew accustomed to the amount of shedding we saw, on a daily basis. Well, when you transition to natural, you actually, most of us, if you're anything like me, you don't manipulate your hair heavily on a daily basis. You minimally manipulate your hair, and you may only wash your hair or use a tool on your hair every several days, right? So when we wash our hair, when we brush our hair, when we comb our hair, when we, finger detangle, style the hair, it's through that process that we release the 50 hairs per day. Okay, so if we didn't manipulate our hair on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, right? That means that there is 4 days worth of shedded hair, still connected to our scalp. So that means if on this 4th day we decide to wash our hair, we're going to see, instead of seeing the normal 50 strands of hair we were accustomed to seeing when we were relaxed, we're actually going to see 50 times 4. So that's 200 strands of hair we'll probably see being released while we're washing our hair, while we're, or co-washing, detangling, combing, or brushing the hair. So going from 50 strands to 200 strands is alarming. And that's why, when I was transitioning to natural, I was like, I have all this shredded hair. What is going on? What's going on? Am I losing my hair? Am I, have I gone natural and now my hair is falling out? And truly, that's not the case. You're just releasing those hairs on a less frequent basis, which means you have, more hairs coming out at one time. Does that make sense? So instead of releasing 50 hairs per day, you're releasing 50 hairs 50 hair times, 4, or whatever, frequency it is between your washes or between, your detangling or combing or brushing the hair. So it looks like you have all this hair, so much more hair shedding or coming out, and really that's not the case. Okay? Hope that makes sense. On a monthly basis, like our hair, this is so amazing to me, we typically shed from our scalp about 1,500 strands of hair. And that hair is actually replaced by other hair, that's kind of growing in. And what shedding is essentially, you have a strand of hair, and depending upon where it is in its growth cycle, if you look at your strands of hair after, they've shed it, a lot of times you'll see a little bulb on the end, and that was the end that was connected to your scalp. that bulb is usually further beneath your scalp at the beginning of the growth cycle. And then as you reach, the end of that cycle, it will work its way toward the top of the scalp. And then it's released through washing, through combing, through brushing. And so that's how it's shedding. So again, that's normal, a normally occurring aspect of our hair growth cycle. Now, sometimes we can experience more shedding, more than 50 strands per day, if like your hormones are crazy because maybe you're pregnant, or a monthly cycle, or you're taking certain types of medication, birth control pills, because of course they impact your shedding. You could shed more hair just in general if it runs in your family, like it's hereditary. Um, but there are things that are just part of who you are uniquely, or your body chemistry, that may cause you to, shed a little bit more at certain times, through your pregnancy, through your monthly cycle, those kinds of things. And so again, they're naturally occurring. And you can expect that to happen. If you're like having, chemotherapy, or you're taking a certain type of medication, of course you would expect more shedding. Um, if you have a thyroid issue. So, okay, so now if you have like a thyroid issue, I went through a period of time where I did have a thyroid issue. And so I noticed, I was relaxed at that time, and I noticed that I was shedding, more hair than normal, and that was kind of a symptom of my thyroid issue. So, if you're noticing that you're shedding more than those 50 hairs per day, or cumulative 50 hairs per day, then you want to go to a doctor and make sure everything is okay, because it may be indicative of a health issue. But overall, perfectly normal to be shedding the amount of hair we see. Now, hair breakage, completely different thing. Now, hair breakage is normally caused because we're putting some type of undue stress on our hair. Okay? It could be because your moisture balance is off and your hair has grown dry, or brittle. And so when you manipulate it, when you brush it, when you comb it, it breaks off. So it's breaking mid hair shaft. It's not breaking off, or being released from the scalp. You're actually breaking your hair. Okay? You're causing the hair to break. That's why it's called breakage. but yeah, so it's because that hair is become dry or brittle. It could be because you have split ends and you've weakened the hair and it has started to break. It could be because you're manipulating your hair a little too roughly. Your hair is not wet enough, or you don't have a product on it that has enough slip for you to detangle it, or use that Denman brush on it, and so you're breaking your hair because you're putting too much stress on it. Um, or you're manhandling your hair. Some of us just have, heavy hands, and we get heavy-handed with our hair, and that can cause our hair to break. So we always want to be cognizant of that. If seeing that your hair is breaking off midway, then you want to look at your hair care regimen, what you're doing to your hair, how you're working with your hair. Also thinking about hair styling techniques. You can be utilizing a protective style or a hairstyle that's putting too much, stress or strain on, your hair follicles even. So, you want to think about those things as well. So I hope that helps. And so, when you write to someone and, you talk about your hair, shedding or breaking, just make sure that you're using the right term, because you would get completely different, different advice kind of based upon using the appropriate, term. Um, And I guess that's about it. So I hope that this was like one to grow on. I wish someone had told me that when I first went natural, because I was certainly freaking out initially. But I hope this video was helpful. Please do let me know your thoughts. Comment, give me your feedback, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.